Ireland versus France. Wowee, what a cracking game, guys. Ruthless contest. The Aviva was just a hell of an atmosphere, wasn't it, guys? Guys, in this video, I'm going to be covering three main areas. So, who played well in the first and second halves, and what were the key moments in the game. And then secondly, we've got some match statistics. So stick around, there's some quite interesting insights from the match. And then finally, we'll do a key player review, so from both sides as to who played well in the game. Just ignore some of the background noise, guys, as well. I've just got some construction going on in our house. So firstly, an overview of the match. Jeepers, that first half, probably what I expected, really. Like, boy, oh boy, that intensity in that first 20 minutes. Ireland, they spun the ball pretty fast, pretty wide. They brought that physicality up front. The intensity was definitely there, eh? They certainly had some really impressive fast ruck speed. And the other thing, I thought Prendergast, not Prendergeist, I thought he kicked pretty well. And I thought particularly that first 20 minutes, his game management was very impressive. Ireland, I mean, maybe you just sort of started to see a few signs that you thought, maybe this isn't just going to be their night. Particularly, Caelan Doris. Ireland put through so many brutal phases on attack. Caelan Doris, one of the best ball carriers in the world, held up over the line. Ouch, 7 points there would have made quite a difference for that Ireland side. And then, a few minutes later, Prendergast, first shot at goal. The ball hits the post, so tough for the Ireland side. But look, I think you got to give some credit to that French defence. Like, let me know your thoughts on this. But, for me, guys, they were absolutely immense. Like, that is a brutal Ireland forward pack. And they took them on right up the middle in all sorts of angles. Hard lines, powerful forwards, and that French forward pack just stood up and just they muscled up really well. And you could see that Ireland attack wasn't getting over the advantage line the way they would have liked, which really, I thought, really halted their attack. They couldn't get over the advantage line up front with their forwards. They'd spin the ball wide, but they're on the back foot already because they haven't got over the advantage line. So then obviously a yellow card to Joe McCarthy. That didn't help Ireland either. And then obviously 20 minutes in, that pretty good try to Louis Biel-Bowery. Pretty simple, but very well executed. Halftime score, still pretty in the balance though, I thought. 8-6 to France. And at that point, I thought, the team that attacks the best in the second half is going to win this. Could go either way, but it was definitely in the balance at half time. Ireland, they came out to play in that second half, didn't they? A pretty good try to Dan Sheehan off a rolling maul. Simon Easterby would have been pretty happy with that. And then a pretty good try and response by France. And then again, errors by Ireland. A yellow card to Kelvin Nash. Just two upright in a tackle. 14 players for Ireland for another 10 minutes. And then obviously Biel-Bowery scored another try with just his raw speed, isn't he? Not a lot, a bit of a turnover and then a kick and chase and try time. Let me know your thoughts on this. 50 minutes in, 22-13 to France. I still thought the game is in the balance. And that's where, I guess, the game, it was interesting. It just France just seemed to up the intensity. That ruck speed really went up another level. They were picking and going, the short balls. Their attack was so varied, so ruthless. And it just looked like that Ireland defence just couldn't keep up with the French attack for a period there. The other thing as well, that French attack, I don't know if you call it offloads or just simple passing, but they seem to just get a roll on with, on attack with these continual sort of offloads, the little short balls, and it just keeps that momentum for them going, and that was just brutal for the Ireland defence. Again, there was a couple of tries for France, and that really put the Ireland team under pressure and just sort of made Ireland chase the game. The other thing I thought, Yeah, I just felt that Ireland defence and the players for that Ireland side, they looked tired. It was hard for them to keep up the intensity of their match. 2 yellow cards certainly didn't help in that manner anyway. Yeah, so France obviously scored a flurry of tries, and then good to see Ireland came back towards the end, but look, 42-27 win for France. Pretty comprehensive at the Aviva. And boy, oh boy, did that French team look good. I think if you look at both teams, there was a real edge to that French team, firstly. Like, you could see in the pre-match singing the national anthems, the emotion. They were angry after that England loss. They should have won that game. I think that's pretty fair. But boy, oh boy, did they come out with that ruthless intensity on defence, and certainly their attack was pretty ruthless. Their attack, I thought, was quite interesting. Just their ability to up the speed on attack, and it's just so varied. They just seem to get a roll on, and you know they do an offload, or they do a chip kick or a pick and go, and it's just so hard to contain when they get a roll on, and the speed they seem to attack and the intensity they attack is pretty impressive. The other thing I think from them is their offload game. It's, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. It's really a thing of beauty. Like, they're so accurate with their offloads, their continuity of play. You know, you look at teams, other heavy offloading teams like Australia and the All Blacks. The French team, that they seem to make very few errors, handling errors with their offloads, and it just allows that attack to just keep going. I think most impressive with that French team was their defence, though. Like, that, was a powerful Ireland forward pack, and that French forwards, they just manned up and stopped them in their tracks. And that really put pressure on the Ireland attack. I think if you look at Ireland, they came out hard, didn't they? Really fast attack execution. They took it up the middle. They weren't able to get over the advantage, like I said, over the advantage line, and they certainly spun the ball wide, but I just felt they didn't quite have the space that they would have liked. Question with their attack, I wonder if they needed a bit more variety, suck that French defence in, maybe a few more chip kicks or crossfield kicks into space, or a bit more variety on attack. I thought that they spun the ball maybe too much. Their defence in the first half was good, but I just felt, 2 yellow cards, indisciplined. They'll be pretty disappointed with that. And that's tough at test match level. You're playing a brutal French side with 14 men for 20 minutes of the game. That's pretty tough. And you could see that in the Ireland players. So look, a tough pill for Ireland to swallow. Guys, let me know your thoughts on what do you think went wrong for Ireland in this game. The other thing with France, boy oh boy, I didn't predict them to win this. Did we underestimate them significantly, guys? It just shows that they are capable of beating some class teams with multiple tries. I think you look back at that England game and you now go, France easily could have won that by 3-4 tries. And you can see that now. So moving to the match statistics, guys. This was quite fascinating, actually. So possession, so France had 42% to Ireland at 58%. So still pretty even there, but Ireland had more possession than France. Territory, 47% to France, Ireland at 53%, so pretty in the balance there. Ruck speed, for me this was really fascinating actually. So 0 to 3 seconds of rucks. France had 65% of their rucks within 0 to 3 seconds, whereas Ireland I thought would have been far less than that, but they weren't. They were at 59%. So actually not a significant difference there, guys. Penalty count, France at 13 and Ireland only at 6. So not a significant difference there, and actually Ireland beat them, in that manner. So defenders beaten, France at 19, Ireland at 21. So not a lot of difference there. Offloads, France at 8 versus Ireland at 9. I think that's an interesting statistic there. Like, I don't actually believe that statistic there, guys, but I think maybe the way they're classing, maybe it just shows that maybe France, they do these short passes, which maybe aren't technically offloads. And they do a lot of those really simple short passes to keep that attack going. And then obviously tries, 5 tries for France, 3 for Ireland. So still pretty close there. But yeah, not a lot in the stats that I thought favoured France. But I think, as I've said before, the big one for me was 2 yellow cards to Ireland and none for France. I think that was probably the big statistic that had a major impact on this game. We look at key players. So the first one was Louis Bielbiari. Look, obviously man of the match from the game. He's not a big man, isn't he? But jeepers, just his raw speed is very impressive. You know, and a couple of his tries, just simple kick chases, very simple but very effective with that raw speed. He just overtakes everybody. Yeah, I thought his defense was pretty good. As I've said, he's not a big man, but he gets low, he tackles hard. A pretty good game by him. Sam Prendergast for Ireland. Look, he's a young fly half, as I've mentioned. Let me know your thoughts on him. From me, I mean, probably one of the best games I've seen him play in that Ireland jersey. I thought he had a real maturity and sort of comfort and composure about him. Particularly his game management. He was getting the ball to some really slick, accurate passes to really test that French defence. Yeah, I thought he ran the ship quite well. Antoine Dupont and his replacement, Luca. Boy, oh boy, you know, obviously Antoine Dupont, absolutely brilliant. Went off with a knee injury. And then Luca, his scrum half replacement. Didn't know a lot about him, but boy, oh boy, he was phenomenal, wasn't he? That Luca kicked so well, didn't he? He sniped so well, passes so accurately and crisply. He was a hell of a player to come off the bench for that French side, wasn't he? Gregory Aldrich for the French. I thought he had sort of a quieter first half, but he did the basics really well, I thought. Look, his defence was immense. Like, he got in the face of those Ireland ball carriers, made a number of hard tackles. And yeah, I certainly thought he led that French forward pack particularly well. Caelan Doris, yeah, a number of good turnovers for him for the Ireland side and key moments in that first half. I thought his defence, he was pretty physical. He had a pretty good game in general overall. I think the one thing from me with him though, you know, he is genuinely a world-class ball carrier. And I think he'll probably be a bit disappointed in the game that he probably didn't make the meters he would have liked with his ball carries. But again, that French defence was phenomenal, guys, wasn't it? Summary of the match. Look, what do you think enabled France to win the game? What do you think were the key moments in the game? Do you agree with some of the statistics that actually the game was actually reasonably close? France took their chances when on offer. The yellow cards for Ireland really didn't help. Do you think that we underestimated this French team? I asked the question, is this the best French team we've ever seen? They were pretty phenomenal in this game. And the other thing, you know, obviously France has got a pretty exciting test series down in New Zealand in a few months. Will this be a potential test series win in New Zealand? That would be pretty impressive, wouldn't it, guys? So let me know your thoughts on a few of those items. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Cheers.